Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to 31 Days of Pomp-o-Ween. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Pompberry, and this month I'm doing 31 Halloween tutorials for you guys. I also did this last year, so if you want to check those videos out, I'm going to leave a link right here to the playlist. Today I've got another Studio Ghibli look for you guys. I could not help myself, and you guys have requested this a lot as well. Today I'm doing Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. Now this is going to be a pretty simple but very, very cute makeup. You can probably use this look for other characters as well that require minimal and natural makeup, but it is going to be very rosy, very cute. I'm also going to try to incorporate Eastern Asian inspired techniques and products in my look. I don't have a lot of Asian makeup products, but I do have some Asian inspired products, so I will be using those, but I will be using a lot of Eastern techniques as well. So I think that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and get started, but before I begin, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to hit that bell button if you want to get updates for the next Halloween tutorials coming up, which I am sure you do. So yeah. Let's jump right into it. So as I said, I wanted to incorporate some Eastern Asian inspired products. So I did my base with a cushion foundation, and I use the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Foundation. I actually really like this one. I used the shade Light Ivory because Kiki is quite pale. This is more of my winter shade, so it is a little bit paler than what I would normally use. And I just lightly set it where I needed it, on my forehead and under my eyes mainly, and a little bit around my nose. But I didn't want a super matte finish, so I didn't powder my whole face. I still want that kind of skin-like sheen that a cushion foundation gives you. Next, I'm going to go straight in with my blush. She is very rosy, and I am going to be using another Asian-inspired product. These are the Kaja Beauty Cheeky Stamps. I'm going to be using the color Koi and Saucy, and these are made in Korea, but they're sold at Sephora, and I believe they're made with a Western public in mind. So that's why I say they're Asian inspired, and they're actually the cutest thing on earth. They come with a little heart stamp, and then it's a little cushion blush. So I'm going to start with the color Koi because it's the lightest one, and I'm going to concentrate this kind of on my cheekbone, pretty close to my eye. I'm using both the stamp and my fingers to blend it out. And I really like this product because it gives a really natural flush. Kiki does have very rosy cheeks, so I'm going to intensify that with the color Saucy. It's a slightly darker blush, and that's just going to give me a little bit more intensity. It looks super dark when you apply it, but when you blend it out, it's actually not that bad. And I'm kind of just applying this where I would normally apply highlighter, actually. Bringing it close to the eye. I'm not bringing it directly under the eye because I have something else planned for that, but it is coming quite close to the eye. And doing your blush like this, it gives more of like a sunburnt effect, because this is where the sun hits your face, like the high points of your face. I'm also going to bring some on the tip of my nose. And I am going to contour my nose, so I'm not putting any on the actual tip. I'm kind of applying it under and around the tip. Then across the bridge, leaving the very tip blank. Then I'm also going to take Koi and apply some on my chin and just blend that out. I might intensify the blush a little bit more later, but for now I just did kind of like a base, and now I'm going to move on to the eyes, and I'm going to start with my eyebrows. So I'm going to use a powder product to do my brows. This is just an eyeshadow. It's Raven. Whoa, it broke. It's Raven by NYX. It's a kind of dark gray, not super black. That's why I like it for doing brows. And Kiki's brows are very thin and rounded. You can see my brows are bleached, so I kind of have more freedom to change up the shape and the color whenever I want. But feel free to follow your own brows and just make them a little bit more rounded than usual. Typically in cartoons, round brows are used for very young or innocent characters. I'm really not adding an arch to my brow at all. I'm just really rounding it out. And I'm also not being super precise with the application because the Japanese trend for brows is a much more soft brow that isn't super harshly filled in. So I'm not worrying about making the edges super precise. So as you can see, it's a very soft brow. The edges are almost kind of faded or blended out. I think I'm happy with that. Now that my brows are done, I'm going to start with my eyes, and I'm going to go in with the Saucebox Nocturne palette. I'm going to use the palest shade to set my eyes first. I did set them with powder, but I'm also going to go in with a light layer of eyeshadow and under as well. It just helps to brighten up the eyes a little bit. And I'm also going to take it onto my brow bone. Now with the third color of the top row, I'm going to try to do the famous little Asian eye bag, which is you basically contour around your eyeball. So you can feel your eyeball here, and that's where it ends. And that's where you kind of create a little shadow, and it's supposed to make your eyes look slightly puffy, and that makes them look more doll-like and youthful. I'm using a teeny tiny pencil brush for this so that I can be really precise with my application. Then I'm going to blend that out a little bit using a sort of flat fluffy brush. You see this color is quite warm to really contour with, because essentially what we're doing is contouring our eye. So I'm going to go in with a cool tone brown, and I'm going to use the Black Moon Cosmetics Orb of Light palette for this. I'm going to use the lightest brown, but be careful because this is very pigmented, and I'm just going to concentrate it kind of in the center. And you see that's a much better kind of contour color because cool tone browns mimic the color of shadows. Like if you look at the color of your shadows on your face, they're cool toned, and so we use cool tone browns to contour with, and that makes for a much more natural contour. Now I'm going to go in with this color and apply it to my crease and outer corner. I want to make my eyes appear rounder, so I'm going for a very rounded shape, and I'm not bringing the eyeshadow past kind of right here. I'm also going to take some of that around the little eye bag we've created. Then I'm going to go in with the Smashbox Cover Shot Matte Eyes palette, and I'm going to be using the dark brown from here. I chose this one because it's a little bit warm, but it's not too dark. I don't want to make this eye look super dark, but I do want to bring some warmth to the eyes. I'm just using a very small fluffy brush so that I can really just concentrate that color where I want it and blending it into my crease. Then I'm also going to apply that under the little eye bag. The more shading you do around it, the more prominent it's going to look, but you don't want to get any dark shadow on it, otherwise you lose that effect. Now I'm going to bring that brown above my crease because I really want to round out my eye, and you can do that by applying the color higher than your crease right here at the center of the eye. I wish I had brown circle lenses because it would really help with the effect, but I only have light colored ones. Now I'm going to take the NYX Sweet Cheeks palette, and I'm going to be using this color right here. It's a pretty pinky tone blush, and I'm just going to apply that to the edges of my eyeshadow. This just helps to soften the look a bit, and it kind of marries the eye look in with the cheeks. Also bring that down onto the cheeks a little bit. Then I think I am going to kind of pack it on just to the tops of my cheekbones, just to really intensify that blush. I'm just going to dip into this slightly darker blush just to go around the edges of the eye look. Then I'm going to go in with the, I still don't know how to pronounce this, Kiki Powder Contour Palette, and I'm just going to take this color right here so that I can contour my nose a little bit. I want to give that button nose effect just because I think it would be cute with this look. So I'm just kind of creating a line across the bridge of my nose and around the tip. I'm also going to contour up here. I'm just going to go in with a clean fluffy brush and just really blend out this blush that we've got going on because it is a little intense. And to mute it down a little bit, I'm going to go in with the Tarte blush in the color Party. Just going to hit that high points again. And this is adding color, but it's also a bit more muted down. It's not such a vibrant color. I think this is more the vibe I'm going for. I'll add that to my chin as well. My nose. For my lids, I'm going to go in with the Ibby Beauty City Limits palette, and I'm going to take the color Nightfall. It's just a sort of champagne-y color. It doesn't really matter what you use here. I just want to add a little bit of brightness to the lids. Then I'm also going to take that onto my little eye bag to really help it stand out even more. Now I'm going to take the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the color Limitless Brown, and I'm going to line very close to my lash line. I chose this pencil because it's not a very dark brown. I'm going to make it slightly thicker on the outer corner. If you get some on your lid, you can just pat on a little bit more eyeshadow and fix it up. Then I'm going to take my little teeny tiny pencil brush and just blend that out a little bit. And I'm thickening up the center, not so much the outer corner, so that it will make my eyes look rounder and bigger. And just blending it out with the little tiny pencil brush. I'm also going to take it pretty close to my bottom lash line, because I am going to want to accentuate those lashes in a little bit. Then I'm going to take the Flirt ... eyeliner in the color Liquid Cocoa, and I'm going to use the end that's just a regular liner, and I'm going to try to keep that as close to my lash line as possible. This is just a brown liquid liner. I did the pencil first to kind of soften the edges a little bit, and then I'm going in with this one just to intensify it a little bit more, but without being too harsh. And I'm just making it wider in the center and really thin along the inner edge. Then I'm going to do a slight little wing. It's barely a wing, it's just a little flick, but it doesn't go past my eye. That just helps define the shape of my eye a little bit more. Now that I've got my liner, I kind of want to intensify my shadow a little bit, just along the crease. I'm going to take the Orb of Light palette, and this time I'm going to use the darker brown on that little tiny pencil brush. And I just want to really define that arched, rounded crease. And then just blending that down. I'm also going to take that a little bit along my bottom lash line, and I'm using the lighter brown to soften that edge a tiny bit. Now for my waterline, I'm going in with the NYX Jumbo Pencil in the color Milk. This is a matte white pencil, and it's just very intense. And this will really help to make the eyes seem bigger. If you're afraid of messing up your makeup with your pinky, use a Q-tip to pull down your eye, and you can do your waterline that way. I want some really intense bold lashes, so I'm going to start off with the Milk Makeup Kush Lash Primer, and then I'm going to go in with the Kush Mascara. And I really want to coat my bottom lashes with this primer. I really want to accentuate them, make them as thick and long as possible. And then also adding a coat to my top lashes. And you don't necessarily have to use the Kush Primer with the Kush Mascara. You can combine it with any mascara you like. This just helps to add an oomph to your lashes. Once it's dried a tiny bit, I'm going over it with the mascara. Now I'm going to move on to lips, and I'm going to leave the fake lashes for last. I'm going to go in with the Laneige two-tone lipstick in the color number 4 Milk Blurring. It looks something like this. It's really interesting because you pull it down for it to go up, and you're supposed to apply the dark color in the center of your lips, and this one, the white, is actually just a clear balm. So I'm going to apply that, concentrating that red in the center of my lips. I'm also going to blend it out with my finger a little bit. I think it looks super cute. I love this style of lipstick application. Then I'm also going to go in with the Lancome Juicy Shaker in the color Apricot, and you gotta shake it up. And this is an oil-based lip product. I just want this to add a little bit extra shine, and it's orange, so it's going to tone down that red a little bit. Oh my god, it smells so good. This is actually my first time using it. It smells like apricots. I'm also gonna blend that in a little bit and go back and intensify the lipstick at the center of my lips. I'm going to slightly overline my top and bottom lip. I was almost forgetting highlighter. How could I? So I'm going to go in with the Kaja Beauty Mochi Glow highlighter in the color Luna. And it's a very natural looking highlight. It matches my skin tone quite well. And I'm going to apply that to my inner corners. This will help to open up the eyes even more, brighten them up a little bit. I'm also going to take that on the very tip of my nose and the bridge, my Cupid's bow. I'm also going to take it on my chin a little bit and my cheekbone ever so slightly, and the apples of my cheeks, just kind of over the blush area. kind of as a blush topper. Kind of tempted to add my own little twist to the lips, and I'm going to take this shade here and I'm going to do the little shading on the corners that I really love to do. It just makes the lips look a little bit more pouty. I'm also going to apply that under the bottom lip. And then I'm going to intensify that with the light color from the Orb of Light palette. Oh no, I got lipstick on my teeth. See how it's just a little detail, but it makes a huge difference? I'm actually going to take that contour color I used and just contour under my bottom lip a little bit, just to make my chin seem a little bit more rounded. And I'm going to contour under my chin as well, because I've got a very long face, so I just want to make it seem a little bit shorter and rounder. I'm also going to intensify my nose contour a little bit. See, I thought I was almost done with the look, but now I'm just tweaking a bunch of stuff. That happens sometimes. You reach what you think is the end and you're like, you know what? Could use a little bit more of this, a little more of that. There's no harm in tweaking things at the end. You can see this just gives the illusion of a little tiny button nose. And I'm so used to doing freckles for these types of looks that I'm like tempted, but I'm not going to. Just gonna contour around the nostril as well and down my Cupid's bow just to make it a little bit deeper, a little bit more pronounced. I think I know what's throwing me off, and it's the fact that I didn't contour my face at all. So I'm going to take a little bit of that contour powder and I'm going to contour it, but not to make my cheekbones look thinner and more defined. I'm kind of contouring a rounder cheek shape just to give the impression of slightly bigger and rounder cheeks. And I think I just want to do one more thing. I just want to define my Cupid's bow a little bit more. So I'm going in with the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the color Lava and So On. And I'm just defining that a tiny bit. This color is a little too strong. So I'm going to take a little lip brush and just blend that out. That just helps to give my lip a little bit more shape. And I'm doing this over top the Juicy Shaker, so it does blend out quite easily because it is over top an oil. I'm also going to define my outer corners. I just like doing this lip shape on myself. This is just a personal preference thing. And then just another light layer of the Juicy Shaker along the edges. Okay, now I'm just going to put on some fake lashes and then I'm done. For my top lashes, I'm going in with the Ardell 600. These give a really nice effect, but they aren't too big, they aren't too exaggerated, and they have a nylon lash band, which makes it look more natural. And then on my bottom lashes, I'm going to apply little individuals of the Elevation Freedom No. 7 lashes. I'm using the House of Lashes glue because I do not like latex-based glues for my eyelashes. I think they're really complicated to use. This one, you apply it to the lash band and you do have to wait a little bit for it to get tacky, but not as much as the latex-based glue, and you have a bigger window of working time with this one, and it stays much stickier than the latex glue. I also love this lash because of the nylon band. It makes it much easier to apply than those thick black plastic bands. The nylon band is much thinner. It's also much more comfortable too. I can wear these out no problem. I usually have a hard time wearing lashes out. I typically just wear them for photos and video and whatnot, but these are really, really comfortable. So if you have difficulty with lashes, try one that has a nylon band. See, that just gives a little bit of extra something, but it's not too crazy and exaggerated. And because of the shape of the lash, it also helps rounding out the eyes. Oh my god, I apologize if I have lipstick throughout this entire video because apparently this lipstick loves to transfer on my teeth. Now, a trick to get that to stop happening is you put your finger in your mouth and you do that, and your finger gets rid of the excess on the inside part of your lips. Now for the bottom lashes, I'm just adding two little individuals on the outer corner. It just adds a little extra something to the bottom lashes, and you can move them around a little bit. Now that that's done, I'm gonna go grab my accessories and I'll be right back. And this is almost the finished look. I've never done this before where I've gotten like all dressed up and then wanted to add one more thing, but I think that this look could use a bit of a red blush just to kind of complement the lipstick. So I'm going in with the NYX Crimson blush and I'm just adding a touch of that so that my blush is less pink and closer to the color of the lipstick. and that will complement the bow and the lipstick a lot more. Ooh, okay. I dig that a lot more now. Then I'm also adding that to my nose, because of course I got to, and my chin. Sometimes seeing the complete look will help you to modify things. Like the red bow really kind of shifts things because it is such a strong, bold color. So I'm just adding some of that red to my face to really kind of balance out the bow. I'm using a small brush to just add that to my nostrils too. And really close to the eyes. Something that would also look really cute is adding blush to your ears. Just a nice little touch. Okay, I know I went kind of crazy with the blush, but I like it a lot more now. So now you just need your broom and the look is done. I really like this. I think it's super cute, and I also really like the fact that it's a mixture of techniques, both Western and East Asian. Please let me know what you thought down below, and if you recreate this look, I'd love to see it. If you post it on Instagram, please don't forget to tag me. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons who support me. If you want to see behind the scenes videos for my Halloween looks, how I style my wigs, how I make accessories, etc., don't forget to check out my Patreon, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow for another day of Pomp-o-Ween. I'll see you then. Bye!